Hi everyone, this is Miss Chris.
And Miss Gabby from the Woonsocket Harris Public Library. And today, it's Science Friday.
Yay.
So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be mummifying apples. So Miss Chris, can you tell us a little bit about what mummifying is?
So mummification is a process that goes all the way back to ancient Egypt. When people passed, they would take their family members and through a process of salts and drying out the body, they would preserve the body of their loved ones so that even now, thousands of years later, we can go into tombs and still see the mummified remains of people who have passed. And they look like almost like they had just passed, kind of thing. So we're going to take that theory of drying out, of salting, and apply it to an apple.
Nice. I think that's really cool. So should I go first with the things?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we cut up one apple into 8 slices. So I have 4 and Miss Chris has 4. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to put a slice of apple in my 4 cups, like this. Okay. So in each one of these cups, we're going to have a different combination of things and a singular of the powders.
Mm-hmm.
So the first cup is going to be 1 cup of baking soda. So I have my 1 cup here.
Make sure you're using baking soda, not baking powder, 2 different substances.
So I'm just going to fill up the 1 cup, making sure to cover the apple.
Another thing that we'll be using in our experiment today is regular table salt, also known as iodized salt, different from sea salt and kosher salt. And this is just regular table salt that you would put on your French fries, kind of thing.
So next I'm going to put 1/2 cup of the Epsom salt.
And Epsom salt is not salt like our friend the iodized salt here that you'd put on your French fries. You would definitely not want to put Epsom salt on your fries or any other food. It is mostly known as bath salts. So if you've ever heard of bath salts, that is Epsom salts. It's magnesium, sulfur, and oxygen, and it kind of combines into a crystallized form that looks very much
Like sugar, kind of, actually.
like sugar or salt, like almost like a more kosher salt kind of thing, more granular. And that is why it's called Epsom salt. Epsom is actually a town in, I believe it's Surrey, England, and it's an actual place, Epsom, and that is where they discovered Epsom salt and how it got its name.
Yes.
So Epsom salt, do not put on your French fries at all whatsoever. Do put in your bath water with your bath bombs.
Smells good with the right fragrances.
Yes, adding the nice bath oils or, to your Epsom salt.
Yeah.
That and add a little bit of color if you want. That'd be great.
Alright, so the next cup I have 1/2 cup of regular table salt. So I'm just going to pour that in. Over the apple. And then the last cup right here, I have 1/2 cup of Epsom salt and then 1/2 cup of regular salt. So I'm just going to take the 1/2 cup again and just pour the regular table salt in it. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take this one more time. And then I'm just going to pour it in. Okay, and then pour that inside there. Okay, Miss Chris, it's your turn.
So I will be doing 1/2 cup of table salt. That's this stuff right here, the stuff you would put on your French fries. So I have a 1/2 cup measurement right here. And I will be mixing today the table salt along with the baking soda. So table salt and baking soda into 1 cup. The next one is a 1/2 cup of baking soda and a 1/2 cup of Epsom. So I'm going to get the Epsom salts going first. And because we're not making any food item, I'm not worried terribly about mixing in the same cup. So that's the Epsom salt, 1/2 cup.
I feel like we should have
Cup
banged up
baking
the
soda.
Epsom salt a little bit. It's a little bit chunkier.
That's that's true, but so that is also true of our baking soda. It can come out clumpy too. And if you're worried about that, you can just kind of take like a little bit of a fork and just kind of fluff it around a little bit. So this one is going to be a 1/3 cup. So I'm going to use my different measurement cup. A 1/3 cup of some bath salts. And 1/3 of a cup of our baking soda, which almost finishes our, and a 1/2 cup of our friend the table salt. But not 1/2 cup, a 1/3 of a cup, I'm sorry.
I think we should like shake the cups up after, just so it's kind of like all combined.
We can do that.
Yeah.
And of course, this one is our control. This just has a piece of apple with no salt, no baking soda of any kind, just the apple. Okay, so we can
just so the apples can get kind of covered in it.
And if you want to break up any kinds of clumpiness, you can. Probably from the moisture of the apple, you might notice it gets clumpy anyway.
Put a little bit more salt in this one.
So you will probably notice that. So here I am mixing, and I am completely covered my apple, except for the one that just has the apple and it has no salt of any kind or powder of any kind. So you can't even see the apple. It is completely buried by our 3 ingredients.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just trying to cover this apple. It's giving me a little bit of a hard time. Okay.
So what's the plan?
Alright, so after you cover all the apples and the 3 ingredients, you're gonna let it sit out of direct sunlight, so like on like a shelf or in like a closet for 7 days. So a whole week without touching them, without putting them in sunlight. So we're gonna let them sit, and then we're gonna come back to you guys next Friday and show you guys the results. So this is like a 2-part.
So we'll see you next week for part 2.